Why are ADHD children and adults so often socially challenged? And, I didn't even get into the association between ADHD and the autistic spectrum, although it's often there. But really what I think you're seeing as a result of ADHD kids being told that they have broken brains, that they're damaged, that they are dysfunctional, that they have a disorder, that they have a disease. But what you're seeing here is kids who are being wounded in school by being told this and by being forced to sit in a classroom that teaches in ways that don't comport with the way that they learn. They learn in very active, interactive environments, and instead they're told to sit quietly in a dull and boring environment, which is just torture for ADHD kids. And, in the story that I tell is one of a conversation that I had with a couple of parents. The wife was actually a psychologist, about their kid. And, what do we do? I mean, the kid is failing in school, and he's having a really tough time. And so I asked the mom, what's the worst day you've ever had at work? And she talked about this 360. This was a big fad back about a decade ago. This 360 evaluation where the HR department comes in and they ask everybody who works with you, the people above you, the people below you, on the hierarchy, the food chain of the company, to evaluate your performance, and then they share it with you after they anonymize it. And an awful lot of it can be pretty brutal. It can be tough on people. And she said that the worst day she ever had was, at least in the last couple of years, was when they did that 360 evaluation and just basically tore her apart. She said she felt terrible. She went home and cried. She just felt awful, even though it was supposed to be, constructive criticism. And I said, okay, imagine that you're not an adult. You don't have the resources of an adult. You don't have the intellect and emotional maturity of an adult. Imagine you're 10 years old and you had that kind of worst day. And she said, oh, that would be terrible. I'd leave the school. And I said, well, imagine that the police would stop you and bring you back. And she said, you're kidding. And I'm like, no, this is what your kid is experiencing. So I think that it's really important that we understand that we have systems in place here that are actually damaging to our ADHD children, our hunter children, and figure out ways around that. There are all kinds of alternative teaching methods and whatnot. But anyhow, the piece today, it's over at hunterandafarmersworld.com, our ADHD site. It's titled, Why are ADHD children and adults so often socially challenged?